What's up, everybody? It's Hunter with Bigfoot. We out here doing a yearly maintenance on a Lennox heat pump, and I wanted to take some time to just kind of show you guys how to test the defrost cycles out on this thing and how to just do a maintenance on a heat pump system. Waiting for this thing to kick on. I just had it in AC mode, so it's going to take it a few minutes to get through its delay, but ran it in AC and checked the refrigerant levels out. It's like 73 degrees outside today, so not really cold enough to be really running this heat pump, but we're just gonna test the defrost cycle on it because while we're here doing a maintenance, we're getting close to the heating season. And so I want to make sure that not only is the AC side of everything working good, but is this heat pump going to work good this winter? And part of that is its defrost cycle. So we're going to force it into a defrost, make sure that it has the ability to do that and it does it properly. And it just now kicked on. That way we don't come here and do a maintenance and tell the customer that everything's all good, and then the minute she starts running her heat pump, it turns into a service call. So always check over everything with the system. We've already went inside and flushed the drains and just kind of cleaned up the inside, a little light wipe down on that, tested all the motors and capacitors. So now I'm just going to check this heat pump operation out, and then after that we'll give this thing a wash. Back there on that board, that's going to be your defrost board. You can see where it says test. That's going to be the pins that you want to jump out with a screwdriver or something of the sorts. Let's see if I can get in here. So now we've just forced it into a defrost. So the way these Lennox heat pumps work is they're on a timer. So you can see by those test pins, you've got this little jumper here that is set on 70 to 90. So every 70 to 90 minutes when this thing is running in a heat pump cycle, it is going to enter into the defrost. Which is what's happening here, where you hear all these valves opening and closing, changing directions. Essentially, what'll happen is whenever this thing's running in heat pump mode, it builds up ice on this coil. And as that ice begins to build, it blocks a lot of the airflow, so it needs to be defrosted. So what it'll do is it'll engage that reversing valve. It'll kick the heat strips on inside so that the customer still has heat. And then it will actually run this condenser in AC mode with no fan, which will heat up this coil and melt all the ice. So I got this thing all stripped down. It's got a lot of grass and stuff built up in the coils. This is just part of what we do on the maintenance. We're going to get all of this cleaned up. It is a Lennox and it's got a big old sticker on it. It says it only wants it to be cleaned with water, so we're not going to put any coil cleaner or nothing like that on there, but we're just going to get this coil all cleaned up, get the grass out of it. We've already checked all the motors, capacitors, refrigerant levels. We've done a little light wipe down on the air handler inside. Checked static pressure, just gave it a good once over. This system's actually in really good shape. This is just part of what we do every year to just help these systems last longer. I wasn't able to get a lot of footage inside because her unit is actually an upflow, like right in the living room. And so I don't want to be in there filming inside of her house. I want to be respectful to her home and her property and everything. But really in this video was just trying to highlight the heat pump operation and how the defrost cycle works. One of the little red flags I did see is this contactor down in here in these contacts is pretty pitted. It's got a lot of electrical pitting. So I am going to recommend that that be changed just to avoid any kind of potential breakdown with that. All right, so we wrapping up, getting out of here. I really just wanted to kind of highlight that heat pump operation and testing out that defrost cycle. This is just one of our, maintenance members. Our company has a lot of maintenance contracts, and so this time of the year, we go around and do maintenances on equipment. And so I did make recommendations. I did recommend that she replace that contactor because of how pitted it was. It's highly likely to fail soon. And I also offered her a surge protector and also a soft start kit because she has a standby generator and she got a 6-year-old unit. So you know, you can't be afraid to offer people upgrades. And also, you know, when you're doing a maintenance, you're there to check over the whole system and comb through it with a fine-tooth comb. So any red flags you see or anything that could help the system, I mean, tell the customer. If they're the type of people that want to try to avoid breakdowns and take care of their equipment, you might you know, make some good sales off of it too. So just have good ethics and morals, and don't lie to people, and there's nothing wrong with being a selling tech. So she actually declined doing anything. She's just gonna rock and roll with it. So and that's her choice. It's her equipment in her house. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.